Hello again, and welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC, and this is going to be a different video. I fully had plans. I was taking notes. We were going to talk about all sorts of things in the news, what's going on overseas, the different things that's going on in Africa, things going on here in the homeland. But something else has arisen and is taken precedent, if you will. And as kind of I, you see I'm stammering on this one. It's because I'm unprepared, and I know that it's that whole thing. Hey, this is a prepping channel. What do you mean you're not prepared? Well, I was not prepared for the email that I just received not long ago. And I had to go back and forth a little bit because I wanted to make sure everything was okay and get permission to share and things like that before we went on. But what it is our friend STP, that is Southern Tier Prepper. If you do not know who that is, I encourage you highly to go and check her out. She is predominantly over on Facebook, has a really, really strong following, puts out really great things, and then really starting to kick off her YouTube channel. She even gave us the honor of revealing herself, stepping in front of the camera for the very first time right here on this channel. So she's a really, really good one. But the email that I got from her is she had her own personal SHTF happen to her today. I'm not going to give out a ton of details, but basically there was an accident that was not of their doing, and their house is pretty much completely destroyed. They lost pretty much the whole house, so much so that the kids were feet away from being in mortal danger. Now, I did get reassurance that the entire family is safe. No injury, anything along those lines. They're still trying to process, the event that actually just took place, not long ago, hours ago, and trying to recount. Now, I did make sure, one, physically, they are okay. They are fine as far as injury goes. Now they do have insurance. The event that went through. You know how that all goes. There's red tape. There's all sorts of different things that go along with all that, and so it's going to take weeks, months, and it's probably going to scratch the surface of going through and replacing all the things that were lost. It's pretty traumatic of what actually happened to them, uh, and I can only barely even try to imagine something like that happening to me or my family or anything along those lines. So, first and foremost, the absolute free thing that every single one of you that watches this is A, you need to keep her and her family in your prayers tonight. She is a very good person. She is a loving person, and she does everything she can to try and help others in the community and things like that. And so the absolute least we can do is remember her in our prayers. The second thing we can do is give her some support. It is free. Go over to Facebook, go to YouTube, find something, you know, throw down a heart, tell her you're in her prayers, say that you're thinking about her. That's the absolute minimum free thing that every single one of us can do. The next thing, and this is where I'm going to ask your guys' input. I want to know, what to do now. Mr. STP is like most of us men, and you're going to bear down and you get through it. Okay, but it's kind of what I want to talk about. We all face a point in our life where it's okay to ask for help. It's okay, you're not less of a person because something happened outside of your control, and for others to help you. And again, it's kind of like me. I relate strongly. I've never met Mr. STP, but I relate to him into this point. You spend your entire life trying to help others. You go out of your way. You stay up long hours into the night. You give people your last dollar. You take the shirt off your back. You do blood, sweat, and tears to try and make sure that you provide for other people. And yet when it comes your turn, you don't want the help. I'll get through it, uh, and I get it. I relate to it. I'm the exact same way. But in this instance, we're a prepping community. We're together. And so I'm trying to figure out what to do. I don't know quite what they need. I don't know what it is that we can do as a channel or as a community or whatnot. So I want to ask your guys' opinion. You leave it down in the comments or you email me and let me know what your suggestions are that we can do something to help them out. Because again, this is basically a total loss of their entire house, and so I don't know if we should get some stuff together and send a care package. I don't know if we should just all go in together and do some gift cards so they can purchase what they want. I don't know if I can maybe talk her into making some sort of Walmart or Amazon list and post that, and then we can all just kind of go on and pick out certain things and purchase it, and that way it goes straight to them. I'm not entirely sure if I want to accept money on their behalf. I don't like doing that. Uh, it's that whole thing of whatever I get, they would get more in return, but I would still get that one person that would be, give the accusation. You're just trying to profit off of a bad situation. And I don't want to be involved in that. That's why, even for like Caleb House and the other things, I don't want to handle the money. I don't want it at all. I want it to go straight to the people that need it. And so in this case, it needs to be straight to STP and to her family. They're the ones that need it, and they need the money now. It's not a thing of let's do a contest and I pull up some prizes and the next 2 weeks we're going to raise money. No, like they really need stuff now. And so I'm trying to figure out a way that we can do something pretty quickly and get them some help that they deserve. They do a lot for the community. They're very, very good people, and they do not deserve things like this to happen. And that kind of brings me into it. Okay. SHTF doesn't care what time of day it is. It doesn't care if you're rich or poor. It doesn't care if you're already having bad times and it's just going to make it 10 times worse. It doesn't matter if yesterday was the greatest day of your life. When SHTF happens, even if it's like in this case a personal SHTF, it's just going to happen, okay? And what they went through, that is so wild and just completely out there. If you picked 100 things that could possibly happen, I guarantee pretty much nobody would have guessed what happened to them. Okay, it's almost in that whole thing where you would have to do what's the wildest way to destroy a house, and somebody say something like the circus elephants got loose and then trampled or something like that. I mean it's almost in that whole sort of a thing. And so it goes into that whole thing again, to where it is freak accidents are just going to happen. It's just a part of SHTF. It's just what it is, and there's no warning, and you just have to one uh, bear down and get through it. Now, granted, for this, it was literally seconds from start to finish, from the time that it hit and began to the time that it was ended. It was literally seconds. Now it comes into the processing. Oh, okay, is everybody here? Let's do a head count. Who's injured? Who's everything, and doing all that. Then once you make sure that everybody's there and that they're okay, keeping in mind of disabilities and other aspects, where we're all different. People have different health problems. You have age issues. You have physical issues and all that. Uh, it's one of those things that once you get through that, now you have to start assessing. What did I lose? What's in all the wreckage and the damage? What is left? You spend your entire last 5 years, 10 years, 20 years prepping, putting things away, putting it into a pantry or the basement or in wherever it is, an extra bedroom. and you spend years and hard-earned dollars getting supplies and food and medicine and all sorts of things, tucking it away to where, day after day, it feels safe. It's your home. It's supposed to feel safe. And all of a sudden, a freak accident comes and it's all pretty much wiped out. And that's one of the things that is really difficult. And I think it's often overlooked when it comes to prepping is that freak accidents happen. We take things for granted all the time. You never know when, something like that's going to happen. You have a student pilot that doesn't understand the aircraft on his very first flight and crashes into your house. You don't know when somebody's going to have some sort of medical thing behind the wheel and comes crashing through your house. You don't know what's going to happen. At any point in time, your stuff, your preps can be put at jeopardy or be completely wiped out. What's your plan there? Is it pick up the pieces and carry on? Is it, oh, well, it's too late now? I mean, it took me 10 years to get all that stuff. SHTF's around the corner. I'm not going to be able to be prepared by then. I just give up. What's your answer for that? We just put out a video today talking about plan B. What is your plan B? Well, let's carry on with that video and go, what is your plan if that freak accident happens and you experience a personal SHTF? What are you going to do? It's something to think about because it happened, maybe not to you, but it happened to one of us. It happened to one of our people, one of our members of our community, of the prepping community that a lot of us talk to. STP comes on to the channel and we do shows together. A lot of you have talked to her. You've chit chatted with her. She's in the comment section during the live. She gives out advice. She answers questions. She's helped a lot of people. And so it comes around to that thing. And that a personal SHTF happened to her and, us as a community. What are we going to do? This is our time. The event has happened. What are we going to do about it? Are we just going to say, I'm sorry and move on? Or are we going to step up as a community and help somebody? Because for me, it's always been about what you do to others is what would be for you if it was you in that situation. So if that happened to me and I just was like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that and turn around and walk away, then I feel like if something like that happened to me, that's what others would do to me. And I don't want to do that. That's not who I am. And so I'm going to figure out what I'm personally going to do to be able to help them as a family. But two, I want to open it up because I know she's been a good friend to a lot of you. Even if you've never met her, even if this is your first time ever watching this channel, I encourage you, go check her out. Look at her following. Look at the way that she is interactive. Look at how much she actually cares. She's not doing it for money and fame. She's doing it because she cares. It's one of the good ones. She's not out here spreading doom and gloom and fear and buy my product. She's giving great advice and trying to help people. And so, in turn, we need to do something to help her. You know, that's kind of the point of all of this is you prep for SHTF to survive. Well, they survived, but now we're into the aftermath. You know, the way I'm looking at it, she's kind of like part of my virtual mag. She's one of us. And so you don't leave one of them behind. You don't leave one of your own stranded or without supplies or anything along those lines. We step up and we help. And if that means I've got to sacrifice a little bit, so be it. Because what they're going through, a little bit of sacrifice for me, they're going through 100 times worse. And so, again, to wrap this up, prayers go out to Southern Tier Prepper, the entire family. We're so happy to hear that they are physically okay, that there's no injuries or anything along those lines, and that you will continue, for the next long time, be in our prayers. And if anybody wants to do anything, please get a hold of me. We'll get something together. We'll figure out some way, and let's do our part. Let's help them. So stay tuned. There's definitely more information to come. I hope you guys have a blessed night. Make sure that you hug your loved ones a little tighter tonight. Be thankful, okay? Uh, this event could have happened to any one of us, and it didn't. And so be thankful for that. Don't just brush it off and take things for granted anymore. This happened to one of us, somebody that we know, somebody we talk to. And so it makes it that much more real. So, with that, I hope you guys have an amazing, blessed night. Be thankful. And above all else, remember, we are all in this together.